If you are a current or aspiring business owner, content creator, social media influencer, Instagrammer, YouTuber, or anything of the like, and you need a getting started guide to make sure that you're organizing your business finances correctly, then this video is for you. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing something like a getting started guide when it comes to managing your business finances correctly and efficiently. Now, business is business. It is strictly financial. So essentially, even if you haven't officially registered your company or business as a business, if you are earning money, if you are spending money to earn money, then it's a business. When it comes time to paying taxes, when it comes to the IRS, provided that you're actually turning a profit with whatever it is that you're doing, the IRS is going to consider that to be a business and not just a hobby. So let me share with you a 10-step guide to making sure that you are doing right by your business, doing right by your money, you're effectively managing your money, you're effectively managing the business finances, all of the things. And I do have to say that you might be pleased to learn that managing one's business finances is almost exactly the same as managing one's personal finances. However, we do live in a world where most people are living paycheck to paycheck. Most people are not managing their money, their personal funds effectively. And so therefore it might be hard to wrap one's mind around managing their business finances effectively. And that's why I'm here. My first tip is to invest in a website. The reason why I say this is because if you do it up front, then it's going to be less of a hassle if you might consider selling something online or offering some type of services or anything where people may need to go to a special place to book any of that or to purchase any of that. So go ahead and build out your website immediately, especially if you already know you're going to be selling something. If that's how you're going to make your introduction into the world is by selling something or offering some type of service, and that's going to be your business plan or that's a part of your business strategy, go ahead and get this website up and running immediately. If you use this website for nothing else, you at least want it for record keeping. And you'll hear that the theme of this video is going to have to do with a lot of ways to bookkeep and to record keep. So if you're selling something on this website, well, you'll be able to keep track of all of your sales, the money coming in, all of that type of stuff. So you need this website for record keeping. Even if you're selling something and you're selling, on Shopify or Etsy or something like that, you need to have a one-stop shop for whatever it is that you're selling or offering for effective record keeping. Because as you'll learn, that's an important part of all of this. Next up, you're gonna have to find you a bookkeeping site and do that immediately. I go back and forth. Right now I'm using Wave, and I kind of go back and forth with Wave and other platforms, but I tend to just land on Wave, mostly because it's free and because the features just keep getting better and better, and I'm not paying some huge price for this, and I've learned it. It's easy to navigate. I know how to navigate it, and this is a place where I actually do further tracking of any type of income or sales or anything of the sort. The newest feature that Wave has that I am loving is the ability to actually attach a receipt, whether it's a PDF or some other type of file, to the transaction. So anytime I'm entering a transaction, I can also upload the receipt and everything is streamlined and in one place. Now, tax time is swiftly approaching, and if you are an entrepreneur, a business owner, or anything of the sort, and you haven't been making quarterly estimated taxes, then it's time to get in gear because April 18th is quickly approaching, and that is tax day 2023. One of the very best things that you can do for yourself as a business owner is to ensure that you are maximizing your tax deductions and therefore decreasing your taxable income. One way that I do this is through the use of the Rapid Receipt Smart Organizer, which helps me to both organize and digitize my contracts and receipts and other paper products. And I've been using this system this product for years. It's important that you track every single expense related to your business, whether it's travel, dues and subscriptions, meals or travel or other operating expenses. Because the fact of the matter is, if you take your gross income and you subtract your gross operating expenses, then that will give you your net income, which is also your taxable income, aka the amount of money for which you will have to pay taxes. So make organizing and keeping track of your contracts and receipts and other paper products a whole lot easier by investing in a rapid receipt smart organizer. The link to purchase will be down in the description box, and thank you again to Epson for sponsoring this portion of today's video. The next thing that you want to do is consult with a CPA or a tax professional. Now, this is especially true if you're making a lot of money. I guess only you would really be able to determine if you're making a lot of money or not. But if you're making a lot of money, then one thing that you might want to do is start consulting with a CPA or a tax professional so you know what exactly you can categorize as a business expense, and also they can help you to kind of figure out your estimated quarterly taxes or recommend that you pay estimated quarterly taxes, which is going to make life so much less of a headache, or managing your business finances so much less of a headache if you're making those quarterly payments as opposed to waiting until tax day to make your payment from the previous year, because it can get real tricky. Like I said, especially if you're making a lot of money, you don't know how much you're supposed to be saving and all of that, a tax professional can help. The next thing that you want to do is, especially if you are a social media influencer, again, this video is kind of for the social media girls and boys. If that is what you're doing, if that's what your business is about, if that's what your brand is about, if that's how you're making money, then you want to look at and thoroughly review the FTC guidelines to make sure that you are following the FTC guidelines. People do this all the time by not disclosing sponsorships, by not disclosing affiliate links, and it's technically against the rules. So in an effort to not find yourself paying fines or paying fees because you have not thoroughly read the FTC guidelines, I recommend that you do that yesterday. So the next thing that you want to do, especially after consulting with your tax professional, or even if you don't, is to figure out how much money you're going to be putting aside for taxes. This is super important. I'll tell you the general rule of thumb, which is 30%. So that means that if you make $1,000, you might consider putting back 300 of it, or saving 300 of it, so that whenever it's time to pay taxes, you'll be good to go. Could have to pay more in certain cases, could have to pay a little less, but the general rule of thumb is about 30% is what one should set aside when it comes to paying for and covering taxes. The next thing that you want to do is account for your dues and subscriptions. In some instances, some folks don't have a lot that they're paying for business dues and subscriptions, but other times people are. So you want to make sure that you're accounting for those each and every month. So using the same $1,000 scenario, if 30% is going towards taxes and going towards saving for taxes, you want to also account for how much of that $1,000 will go towards dues and subscriptions. Basically, just budget for dues and subscriptions. The next thing that you want to account for is scaling or growing or even investing back in your business. Again, using that same scenario of $1,000. If 30% is going towards taxes and let's say 10% is going towards dues and subscriptions, then what amount are you setting aside or saving so that you can scale, grow, or even invest in the business? Maybe that's not a thing for you. Maybe you have no interest in doing so, but if you do, you have to make sure you're saving money for this. And really, this is really the steps that you take if you don't want to take on debt or take out any type of business loan, which I have not done and have not seen the purpose in doing. So if you're not trying to go that route, you have to account for actually investing back in the business. I see a lot of people, wanting to grow their business and expand and do all of the things, but they're not actually accounting for that or budgeting for that or even saving for that or really even thinking about that when it comes to their business finances. The next thing that you want to do is account for other operating expenses. Like I mentioned, we have dues and subscriptions, we have taxes, we have all these other things, but what about paying a CPA? What about paying a bookkeeper? What about potentially hiring someone down the line like a virtual assistant? What about these other operating expenses? You have to account for those, especially as you begin to scale or grow your business. Another thing that you want to account for is your salary. I see people making lots and lots, hundreds of thousands of dollars per year, millions of dollars per year on social media or within their company, and they're not actually paying themselves a salary. Well, you have to prioritize that, especially if it's your full-time gig and you have to rely on that. Just taking a little money here or there, or sneaking, not sneaking, but trying to finesse 200 here or 1,000 here to pay for your rent or this and that and the third, that's doing too much. That's not really streamlining the process and making it run like a well-oiled machine. Just figure out what you're going to pay yourself as a salary and then pay yourself that. Same thing goes for other employees that you might hire on. What are you going to pay them? What are their salaries going to be? When are you going to run payroll and pay them and then pay everybody from the business? And then lastly, you want to account for advertising and promotion. Now, the cool thing is when it comes to social media, a lot of people actually act as their own type of advertising or promotion or marketing, because normally people are their brand or they are a representation of their brand or company. So that's the cool thing. But some people this may not be the vibe for them. They may not really want to show their face and do this whole type of thing. They may need to go a different route when it comes to marketing or advertising. So they may want to run ads on social media or have a team of affiliates or ambassadors who actually promote for them and they pay them to do that, or give them a certain percentage of the profits to do that. So you're definitely going to want to consider how you're going to advertise and market and brand, because every company has a budget for advertising and marketing. So that is my 10-step guide that I wanted to offer to you when it comes to streamlining your business finances and making sure that they are running super duper smoothly. These steps cover everything to include taxes and consulting with tax professionals and other professionals and all of the different things that I think that people need to do and to account for when it comes to streamlining their business finances. So I hope that this video was helpful for you. If it was, give it a like, subscribe if you're new and if you're liking what you're seeing, and I will catch you guys right back here in a few days in a brand new video. Bye guys.